after the break, we'll have an interesting conversation here. It's about ending female genital mutilation. It's a 20-day campaign that we are going to have. Okay, so let me introduce my guest. After the break, we'll do sports. Let me introduce my guest. My guest is Matilda Hammond. She is the president for Youth African Women Congress, and they are having a 20-day campaign against female genital mutilation, and it's something that is worth our attention. In 2024, you ask yourself, do these things still happen? And it's so sad. So our president is here to have a conversation with us. Young African Women Congress, yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Anaya.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And yesterday when I was reading through, and I was realizing that this is what we're going to have a conversation about, I went on YouTube to just watch some videos, and it was so disheartening. And such a violation in this century. Why is it still happening?
Well, it's so sad that this canker is still being practiced globally, and you'll be amazed that about 200 million girls and women are being subjected to the FGM this year only. Yes, 200 million.
This year only?
I mean, 200 million from between over 10 years.
10 years, okay, okay.
But currently, we have 1.4 million girls and women who are at risk alone this year, 2024, to go through the FGM.
Yeah.
And so basically, it's like 12,000 daily women and girls.
And it's still happening.
It's still happening.
Even though we keep talking about it, the awareness is high, it keeps on happening.
It keeps happening. So over the last 30 years, you realize that the rate at which FGM was being practiced has reduced.
Okay.
Because we have been campaigning against it. You know, the SDG Goal 5 talks about equality. Yeah. And so we are ensuring that women and girls concerned are being talked about, ending early child marriage, etc. So because of the advocacy and the voice and awareness, it has really reduced the rate at which it happens. However, it's still ongoing globally. It's a universal canker.
Okay. Now, in schools, we learn about this thing. In case someone doesn't really know what exactly it is, what exactly is female genital mutilation? And are there types? If there are types, what are they?
Okay, so FGM is basically the altering of the female genitalia. That is the labia majora or the minora, causing so much pain and brutal pain to these women or the girls. It affects their natural building of their womanhood. And it tends to have difficult and psychological, mental effect on them throughout their lives. Now, this is a violation of their rights, and it's recognized globally. That's the reason why we have added our voice to fight this canker. However, there are 4 types of the FGM. Very brutal, very, very brutal. Now, the first one is the partial or altering of the labia majora, which looks like the clasping of like a butterfly. When you look at the woman, natural, I'll say, God, how do I put it though?
You know, when we come back, we'll try and have some image, but then we are going for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. I mean, you are here to talk about the campaign. There's another gentleman who has to join us. So after the break, we'll continue the conversation. It's still Morning Rush on Metro Television. We are having a conversation about a 20-day campaign against female genital mutilation. I'll be back with more. Welcome back. It's still Morning Rush on Metro Television. So joining the conversation is Daniel Osei-Tufo, who is the executive chairperson of the Young African Women Congress Network, and they are having a 20 days campaign against female genital mutilation. Before the break, Matilda was telling us about the types, the ones that are severe and the ones, I wouldn't say it wouldn't be severe, but all the types. So let's continue let's start from the top. Then how many types do we have? 4 types. Okay, so you're telling us about the first one.
Okay. So the first one is actually the altering of the labia majora, where it's being cut partially or entirely. And the second one is the labia minora. And the third one is infibulation, That is where the opening of the womanhood is being sealed, and you have the labia majora or the menorah that is cut, used to create that seal. And the fourth one is any form of brutality or cutting or scraping in that area.
Scraping?
Yes. It happens, yes. Those are the 4 types, and it's very ruthless.
You know, according to statistics, they said treatment for health complications of FGM is estimated to cost health system a $1.4 billion, a number expected to rise urgent action if it's not taken. Now, if this is happening, and on your screen are the types that Matilda helped explain, and briefly Matilda gave us the explanation, but if these treatments, these are the complications, are people really, it's not right, but are they even doing it the right way? Do they have the right tools to do what they are doing? Okay,
so you would be amazed that when you go to our communities and this FGM is being done, you have health workers in there. When out of 4, you have 1 person who is a health worker, part of or doing that FGM. Others are also people who have been trained locally using certain tools, not sterilized, you know, doing this FGM, tending to affect the health of the girl child or women. And so it brings a lot of complications. So at the end of the day, we need funds, resources to take care of these health issues of the girl child and the woman or the woman, I would say.
As well,
making it very expensive. Yeah.
Daniel, what is the underlying cause of all this FGM?
I would say 2 main things. One is cultural. I call it outmoded cultural practices that we have to prevent the girl child from being, you know,
violated.
Yeah, you know, not even the right side, but I'm looking at the fact that they need to cut them so that they will not be promiscuous. Because, you know, that's the sensitive part.
Isn't it against their human rights?
In fact, everything about FGM is wrong. It's against their human rights, their fundamental human rights and all that. You know, when we go to certain places, you know, we have our team who are all over the country currently. Some of them went to radio stations in Upper West region this week. And to our utter dismay, an educated man phoned in and said that he feels FGM should be legalized so that they kind of, it becomes compulsory. They cut every young child.
Did he give the reason why?
The reason is that the girls are becoming more promiscuous and it's breeding teenage pregnancy and that kind of thing. Then the question is, who are the ones who even get these girls pregnant? Is it not the men?
Yes, the men. And
what do you do to the men? Should we be cutting off their penis?
I was about to say that. I was about to say that. But if you want to curb promiscuity, should this be the way?
That is the issue. That shouldn't be the way. And there is no, I mean, point to that fact. It's about it's more or less like a power issue that the man is the head, is the strong patriarchal and that kind of thing. So let us, you know, coil that woman so that you will not be promiscuous and all that. But you, the man, you have your feelings intact.
Yeah.
What happens to that? Because these girls are not impregnated by themselves.
No.
They are impregnated by the men.
Exactly.
And sometimes even the boys. When you go to our rural communities, you find 16-year-old boy fathering a child. What do you do to those people? So the whole thing about FGM is so wrong. It's a violation of fundamental human rights of the girls, and it must be prevented. Yes, Ghana, it has been outlawed. Several other countries has been outlawed. But the issue goes beyond just making it illegal. The people feel that they still have to do it because it's something that is cultural. Just a week ago, there was a Kenyan woman who was living in the UK. She gave birth to a girl, and when the girl was around 15 years, she took the girl to Kenya for her to be cut. The girl was actually born in the UK, but because of that culture thing, that she feels that she has to take the girl to their community for her to be cut. But you know, the girl's teacher along the line was able to speak with the girl, and she opened up. So he blew the issue up. The law enforcement agencies came in.
Yeah.
Then the woman has been imprisoned for that.
And the girl has been rescued.
Yeah, the girl has been rescued. But you know, the trauma that has been caused on this person is going to take a lifetime for her to redeem herself.
Exactly. Before we talk about the campaign, is there lack of sensitization that we haven't hammered on it so much that a parent in the UK will see it fits to come back to her country to sensitize or let her child go through this? Is there lack of sensitization, or what is it?
I don't think it's lack of sensitization. What I believe is when you research, you realize that the FGM even happens in some countries like in Europe, Australia, in Asia, where you have immigrant populations, people relocating from here to go and live in the diaspora, and they are conversant with that culture. So for instance, you have maybe Somalians living in Europe, and because they are used to that culture and it's part of them, once a girl child is born, they feel it is part of their culture, and they can't do away with it. So it's part and parcel of them.
Let's talk about this campaign. How long has it been going on?
So the campaign has been running from 21st February.
Okay.
It's a 20-day campaign. We are ending on 11th March.
Okay.
So the approach, we have about 4 approach we are using. So we have the social media awareness. So we create flyers. I believe we will talk about the York Network. We have chapters in various countries, not just Ghana.
Okay.
So we give opportunity to our members to come up with quotes on FGM. Okay. So we put the quotes on flyers, then we circulate on daily basis. Okay. Then we also decided to engage the traditional media. So as I indicated earlier, we have people all over the country visiting the various radio stations and television stations in their communities to sensitize the public. Yeah. Because it's not everyone that is on social media. Yeah. And most of the time, the people that even perpetrate this kind of act are not on social media, but they actually watch TV or listen to the radio. Yeah. So they are all over the place, and we are, today as we are here, others are in different places. Okay. In Tamale, in Takwa, in Wa, Sunyane, and all those places of doing what we are doing.
What you are doing, that's
because
good.
we feel that, yes, the Ghana statistics is not that much, 4%, but the fact is that even if it's 1,
it has to be eradicated.
It has to be eradicated. Yeah. Because it is so wrong. Everything about FGM is so wrong. The implications are
too much. The psychological trauma and everything.
Exposure to diseases like HIV, AIDS. You know, I engaged one midwife, and she was telling me that because of the curtain, when the people, the ladies are delivering, and the baby's head is a bit big, the place, you know, tears up. The some can even bleed to death. So it's also a cause of maternal mortality. Yeah. So it's a very risky thing that we are just looking on. It's something that people should just understand that it is just like killing someone. Yeah. Yeah.
Matilda, you are the president of Young African, the network.
For the chapter.
Ghana chapter. Yes. Okay, so there are other diasporans chapter.
Yeah, we have 8 chapters on the continent. Okay. Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Cameroon. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And is this the only campaign you embark on, or there are other things that you embark on too?
There are other campaigns that we do. Usually we embark on early child marriage. We advocate about it. We speak against it because it's not very good thing to practice. As and when we have challenging topics or concerns that we go hard on it, we embark and we speak against it. Okay.
So are you going to climax this campaign with an event that you do?
So Monday we are doing a webinar where we are bringing experts on the topic. Okay. Let's say stakeholders. Let me say
stakeholders,
stakeholders to come on board for us to look at how best we can get it eradicated from our system. And then afterwards, we will have our report, which will be presented to the various stakeholders.
Okay.
So we are, even in Ghana, we are planning to visit the Parliamentary Select Committee on Gender and Children.
That's good.
We'll be meeting the gender minister, meeting the UNFPA, and other stakeholders to see how best we can collaborate and do this campaign more detailed. Because the next one, which we intend to do next year, early next year, we want to go down. So beyond the social media and the traditional media, we want to go to the communities and engage the perpetrators. And let them know that, I mean, have a tete-a-tete with them. Get them to understand, because we know where it happens.
Yes.
The statistics are so clear.
Yes.
We know where these things are happening.
So you go into
such the communities, have meetings with them, in the presence of mediators, you know, traditional authorities and all that. Have that kind of engagement with them to get them understand that it's something they have to stop. If you want to keep teenage pregnancy, there are so many ways to go about it. The men that are causing teenage pregnancy are being left to handle themselves. And nothing happens
but the
to
women
them.
are going through a lot.
Because they are perceived to be vulnerable. You can just get them and do whatever you want to do to them. It is unfair. We have to get to a point whereby we have to know that men and women are equal. We are not different. Nobody is lesser than the other. We are unique in our own way. We meet at certain points as partners and we do our things.
And I'm so glad that we have a man talking like this for such a campaign, and I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Anything you want to talk finally before we go, because we're wrapping up?
I just want to talk about our network briefly. The Young African Women's Congress Network is a women's fraternity of African women living in the diaspora and Africa, like he mentioned. And currently we are across the diaspora and Africa. He mentioned the countries already, but we look forward to adding more African countries, which is Rwanda, Gambia, Zambia, and I think one other country, and then 3 in Europe, which is the Scandinavian countries. We're looking at Norway and 2 other more from that area. We want to encourage every Ghanaian woman who loves women empowerment, who is a change maker for development, with a common goal of empowering themselves to also empower others, so that together we can build the world that we want. This is a platform to be part of, York Network.
Thank you very much, Matilda, and thank you very much, Daniel, too, for coming through.